Hey, Jake's Lego Corner here with my thoughts on the brand new January 2025 Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Lego sets. Starting off, we have the two brand new Spinner sets, which will be Sora's Dragon Spinner and Kai's Dragon Spinner, which will both retail for $12.99 Canadian and opposed to the regular $13.99 price point. These two spinners are probably the best gimmick set that we've gotten from Ninjago in the past couple years. Maybe could rival the 2022 core spinners. Although these are cheaper and you do kind of get a bit more value with the two minifigures instead of one. The builds are okay. Figures are great, being Sora and a Dragonian Scout and Kai and a Dragonian Warrior. And again, I don't know how well these are going to work yet, seeing I haven't gotten my hands on them. But the price is cheaper, the builds are better. I think it's all out a good deal, and most likely going to be fun for little kids. Next up, we have the Dragon Spinjitzu Double Pack, which will retail for $24.99 Canadian. And I think this set is better than the individual packs because not only do you get the spinners, but you also get a side build for, I think, $1 or $2 less than buying both of the single packs. The figures in this is also really nice. You get a new Aaron, which looks good, and you get a brand new Raz as well. No, not brand new. Raz is a repeat, but it's still a really nice minifigure. Along with that, you get two spinners, the launchers, and a really nice temple build, which can collapse when hit by a spinner. The build looks good. I like the functionality. Hopefully it's sturdy enough to support itself on its own and won't just collapse. Out of the three spinner sets, I'm most likely gonna get this one, mainly because I don't have Roz. It's a nice new Aaron, and also it's the same price as getting the two combined, and the temple build's nice. Then we have Zane's Battlesuit Mech, which will retail for $12.99 Canadian. And even though it is not as good as Jay's Battle Mech from last year, it is $1 cheaper, so I will give them that. I do think they overdid the chest. I think it could have just been an exact copy of Jay's mech, but color swapped and maybe switch out the shield on one, no, the gun on one hand for a second hand, which is basically what they did. But I don't think they needed to entirely design a new chest. The minifigures are nice, being one of the members of the Forbidden Five, a brand new Zane with his a exclusive torso print, and then the same old Wildfire we've been getting since 2023. It would have been nice if she was new as well, but I understand why she wasn't. For $12.99, this set's going to be really hard to pass up, but I'm sure some of you can. I probably won't. I like these small mechs much rather them over the more expensive ones, but to each their own. Next up, we have Lloyd's Green Forest Dragon, which will retail for $24.99, and this is probably one of my favorite sets of the wave. The dragon looks fantastic. Technically, it's a wyvern because it has 2 legs instead of 4, but it's all good. The minifigures are good, except I feel like Lloyd should have been the brand new variant. I have made a video about how I do like this mesh of Season 1 and 2 Lloyd suits, but it would have been nicer if it was the new suit. I have no clue why they did that. And it's nice to get that little baby dragon as well. It's a new piece as well, although I feel like that wasn't necessarily needed, but it is a nice touch. Then we have Lloyd's Pullback Race Car, which will retail for $29.99 Canadian. And while the set feels reasonably priced, it doesn't feel expensive or anything. I don't see the need for me to get it. I understand why a kid would like it. It's a really good function. It's kind of well hidden while still being kind of obviously there. Kids would have a lot of fun with this. I feel like they could have included a couple more obstacles or things to crash into, but kids can always just build more of that. I feel like the car is pretty well built. While not perfect, I feel like kids will get hours of play, so I think it's doing a good job of what it is. Next up, we have the Dragonian Storm Village, which will retail for $49.99 Canadian. And this set, while the build is a bit lacking, it still looks decent, but it's not quite there. The minifigs carry the set. You have a brand new J minifigure who is now named Rogue, a brand new exclusive Moro, who is just amazing to see after 10 years come this set's release. Then you have two Dragonian soldiers. You have Nia, who is a perfect match to go against Jay. And then you have Zane. The build itself consists of this weird brick-built spinner thing. I have no clue what it's meant to be. I'm just kind of guessing. You have this cage to hold a person in it, and then you have this little thing that I'm assuming is what they're calling the village, being this kind of shrine temple, which is a bridge which can collapse and drop somebody into a spike pit, which does hold a skeleton. And then there's like a shrine top to it. It's not perfect, not all that great. It is a decent value for what you're paying. It's not like you're getting screwed off of with your pricing. But again, this set is carried by the minifigs. And to counter the Dragonian Storm Village, you have the Ninja Spinjitzu Temple, which will be a 4+ set and cost $49.99 Canadian. For a 4+ set, it's not terrible. It has a really, actually looks pretty good. And it doesn't seem overly overpriced like the new DC and the new Marvel sets. Those are just horrendous in pricing, even some of the city sets. But this seems, while not perfectly priced, decently priced. In it, you do get Baby Ryu, which is kind of strange, seeing he's been an adult since Season 2, Part 1. You also get Nia, Kai, Lloyd, and Zane, so you get 4 out of the 6 ninja. You wouldn't get Jay, seeing he's technically still bad. I don't really know what's going on with Cole, but you get the majority of the OG ninja, and then the build's not bad. You get a little fighting area, weapon rack, what seems to be a blacksmith area. I could see kids enjoying this. It's definitely the target audience with it being 4+, but I think even some adult fans would like this, especially seeing there isn't any major monastery sets. Ideally, there would be, but until then, this is what they'd have to go with, unless they want to buy something off of the secondary market. Then we have Roz and Aaron's Super Storm Jet, which will retail for $64.99 Canadian. This one does feel a bit overpriced in comparison to the other sets, but not horribly priced. You get the same Aaron and Roz from the Spinjitzu double pack. You also get a Dragonian Warrior, which is nice. The jet can be split into 3 sections, being a small jet, a somewhat larger jet, and then a really tiny black dragon. You only get 2 people to fill the jet though, unless you're including the Dragonian. So having 3 parts for them doesn't really make that much sense. Besides that, the set doesn't look horrible. It isn't as good as I think the 2019 Jay's Lightning Jet, which I think they were kind of trying inspiration from, but it's definitely better than the 2022 Zane's jet from Crystallized. But these are just my thoughts. You could have something different. Again, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion. If you have a different one, feel free to leave it in the comments. Moving on. Then we have probably the worst set in the wave, being Kai's Storm Mech Rider. Why did we need another mech vehicle for Kai? He already had the mech bike, he didn't need this. On top of that, it's not a good set. It's $64.99 Canadian, which I feel like is a bit too much. You only get 3 minifigures, being Kai, Nia, and a Dragonian. So not much value. Everybody else comes in a different set anyways, so you aren't buying this for the minifigures. And then it's kind of a bland, generic Ninjago style vehicle for a mech. It's not something needed. I don't see this one selling well. Even if you see it on clearance, I don't see anybody really buying this. Unless you have a child who's really like, oh mom, I need this set, and like really specific about this, which I don't see the appeal. And then finally we have Zane's Ultra Combine R Mech, which will retail for $129.99 Canadian. And this set is fun, as far as I can tell. I don't know how strong it's going to be. I can see people getting a lot of enjoyment out of this. It's nice that Ryu is in it. I didn't think they'd make another big Ryu after they made that Ryu set in 2023. I mean, 2024. But I guess they are. He's still growing. It kind of actually makes sense, because why would the Ryu in March of 2024 be the largest? This one, while the body and head look around the same size, the wings have grown exponentially. It's nice to see Pixel again in a set. She hasn't appeared since, I think, Core Season 2. And it's interesting that Zane is in this big brick-built form rather than a minifig. I think that small $12 mech for Zane is meant to be a minifig version of this big set, of like this big brick-built version. But only time will tell. The vehicles in the set also look okay. The car is my main problem, because it doesn't seem to have any like windscreen for a minifig to look out of. So I don't really know how that's gonna work. It would have to be like a camera or something, and that just seems like a design flaw. I get it's a playset, it's not always supposed to make sense, but like, it is what it is. Anyways, that's the end of my video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this in the future. Bye!